When I was about 7, I found it unfair that I couldn't do the things my sister did. She could go to school by herself and see her friends or go to the shop. I wanted to be older, to grow up, and after many years I was now the age she was when I had envied her. But by then there were other things she could do that I couldn't. She was living on her own, working a job, she could have real fun. She could fly by herself, buy her own booze, whatever it was that she wanted to do. And how I wished I could grow up. And funny enough, this summer I turned 20. I no longer live at home, and I haven't for the past 2 years. In another, I'll get my degree, and all this has been feeling overwhelming. Time has passed far too quickly, and I can no longer wish to grow up because I already am. And the thing I want more than anything is to be younger. The uncertainty of it all is not a great feeling, and that's why I'm making this video. As I was packing up my things, getting ready for my parents to take me home for Easter, I came across a book I read when I was 16. The cover was slightly scratched and the pages were all slightly bent, each in their own way, but also exactly the same, such that you could tell this book had been read. It was none other than The Stranger by Albert Camus. I had shared an interesting relationship with that book. When I first read it, I lived by it as if it were law. It was the first book that introduced me to philosophy, existentialism, absurdism. I had read The Myth of Sisyphus, The Plague, The Rebel, and moved on to Nietzsche, Dostoevsky, Kafka, and 100 other writers. But with time, it began to wither away at the back of my mind. The things I read stayed with me. They made me the person I am now, but I had aged and learned that a human should not be entirely one way. I still believed existence was entirely absurd, but I no longer lived my life by it. That was until a few months ago. I began having bad aches at night, during the day, all related to health issues I was dealing with. The pain got worse. I had sleepless nights, emergency visits, and times I didn't think I'd wake up. And worse, there was nothing I could do to make it better or cure it. Eventually, I'd reached a point where I had somewhat come to peace with the fact that I could die at any moment. I started treating each day as if it was my last. It definitely felt weird thinking about my death in that way, but it also felt necessary. And that brings me to today. I brought the book back with me, and rereading it as we speak has been very nostalgic. Salt was like an old friend you haven't seen in years, but still know everything about. I couldn't remember each bit that would come up, but I knew exactly how he would say it, the words he would use, and how he felt about everything, because I too felt it at one point. I've begun looking at things the way I did when I was 16, with rebelliousness and a I don't care attitude. Looking at life through the eyes of my younger self felt soothing. I vividly remember a conversation I had with a friend around that time. It was September, and we went out for a bit of fun. By the time we were coming home, it was dark, and the conversation turned more real. While I don't remember everything that was said, one bit does stick with me. I had said that life was weird, and I didn't feel compelled to do anything or aim for anything, and that I could probably be just as happy homeless as I was right then, because everything was entirely absurd, and no matter the circumstance, I'd look at life the same, and he agreed. That night stayed with me for a long time, and I often look back on it with sadness and longing, perhaps because of how much simpler everything was. But then again, does it really matter if life is hard or easy? It's all the same. The reality is that every day I get a little older. We all do, and there's absolutely nothing we can do about it. Those memories I have, the ones where it's snowing for the first time, or I'm having my first kiss, or the one where I was with people I'll probably never see again, those memories are just that, they're memories. Growing up means letting go, and I think that's exactly what makes childhood so special. There was a point in time when we didn't have all these experiences, nothing to move on from, but then we did, and magical as they were when they happened, eventually a time comes when you have to let go. And that day is the day your childhood somewhat dies. Maybe that's the day you lose your childhood pet, or your first love, or an object you cherished with all your being. Or maybe it's leaving a place. Maybe it's all of them. I'm not sure where I'll be in a year from now, or 2, 3, even a month. But another thing I hope to hold on to, the universe cannot ground me, and that's what the absurd is.